Hey, welcome back everyone. So today we're going to talk about next topic that is called DSCP. DSCP in detail, the dynamic host configuration protocol. Okay, so we have three different type of lab. First lab using the DSCP server. So we have dedicated DSCP server. Okay, the LAN that going to one of the easiest lab we're going to today. And second, we will the lab we're going to make a router your gateway IGDSC. What we will do? We are not going to use any server as a DSCP. We're going to use as a gateway as a DSCP. Okay, that's a good lab. We will see how in the upcoming classes. Third lab. So this DHCP server belongs to your LAN network. I'm going to assign the IP to all PC dynamic. Maintain that. But suppose your DHCP server is not available on your LAN. Means every LAN, suppose I have 10 LAN, so I can't install the 10 DHCP, right? So I have only one DHCP at the remote site, on the remote site. How do I get all the IP services to my all the new added 10 LAN? So if DHCP on sitting on the remote, we how do I get the IP address to LAN? Okay, means the DHCP not in local DHCP, the remote site, the different. So we will see what are the challenges. How do we resolve? And this is going to be little. Today, what we're going to do, we're going to study the easiest one, the DHCP, using the DHCP server, which is available on my LAN. Okay, clear? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now. So we saw the static IP we have assigned manually, what I told you. If a static fail and there is a DHCP not available, DHCP also fail. So what going to run automatic? We do the laugh already. That is called a right
Up.
automatic private IP address. Okay, so a pipa going to run. So we have done the static lab manually assigned. Now we will do the DHCP,
DSC.
and we saw already a okay. So DHCP only the first portion today we're going to see. Okay, next part we will check for the three component what we discussed today. The network ID, which is going to be throughout the routing switching, we're going to see what's the role of the network. Then we're going to saw also the valid host IP, the three part of the IP. But today we will do the lab of the broadcast IP. What's the role of broadcast component? We already identified. We have done the identification. We have done the theory part. So three component, out of that one component we will do the lab, the DS going to be integrated. So let's jump to the lab, and by doing we're going to learn, going to understand, going to explore. So come back to your packet tracer. Okay, I think everything is visible to you guys. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to take DHCP server requirement. I'm going to click in the user device and I can see here server. I'm going to server and I will drag a couple of lamp, drag couple of laptop. I don't want to assign IP address manually because I'm tired of. I don't want to maintain stuff. I don't want to. That's supposed to be maintained by the DHCP server. The IP services will assign. He will lead the IP, and it will. So for that, I have to establish the connection. This is. I'm going to start the wire. This connector quickly. Okay, so I can't connect this directly. I have to first connect one of the central communication. I'm going everyone connected. So I'm going to connect all the P and then laptops. Going to connect the switch and this switch. Let's name the servers. I'm going to click this and I'm going to give the name. So name is DHCP. This is DHCP server. I will go to on desktop and DHCP. To DHCP I have to assign IP. So 192.168.1.11. This is the IP of the DHCP. Subnet is /24 255.255.255.0 and gateway. If this is the IP of server and subnet, what will be the gateway? Tell me. Just now I teach. What will be the gateway of this LAN?
192.168.1.1.
Excellent. Any first
Wait, one.
IP dot one will be the gateway of that. That's our convention. But in real time could be anything. Okay. Just we
Yes,
want to make flexibility of the lab. You can take IP and you to gateway. Just I give that. That's all. You have to give this much. That's more. Now I have to test. I have to assign the IP to my DHCP server only. That's all. And rest of thing going to take care DHCP. Okay. So what will be the IP? Let's cross verify config. Cross verify. Clear guys.
Yes, sir.
For the testing purpose, I will add my gateway. If I'm telling you I'm going to add my gateway, so what I'm going to take? Router. Router is the gateway. Who is the gateway? Router. And the router going to connect the switch. Router going to connect to the switch. This is for testing purpose. So I'm going to give router, going to give the name as a gateway. Just I given the router as a gateway. Actually, router is a gateway. And I will go to CLI, going to configure IP address. What is the interface? If you see here, gig 0/0. So I'm going to configure the gateway on the router, means that's a gateway. interface gig 0/0 no shutdown, as I'm going to enabling up my interface by no shutting down, and then I'm going to assign the IP address 192.1.1.1. That's my gateway. So that IP going to be assigned to my router interface, and 2//24. So 5.255.2. Okay, let's test my DHCP is pingable from my gateway, and DHCP also can ping to my gateway, and from the gateway also DHCP. What's the IP of the DHCP? That's a 1.11. So this supposed to be ping. Yes, it's a pinging! Exclamation. I will test from this side also. I will ping to my gateway 192.168.1.1 is my gateway, and the gateway up. So this for testing purpose. Okay, we have done. Now, do we have IP to this laptop and this PC? Do we?
No, no.
No, sir.
No. So let's say assign IP. So I'm not going to do manual. What we have to do? We have to go laptop and IP configuration. Just we have to click. You can see as a DS. Just I'm going to click here. What going to be happening?
Automatic IP is waiting.
Yes, DSCP fail.
Yes,
But I have DSCP.
Yes, sir.
Why DSCP fail?
sir. We give a DHCP IP for.
Yes, I have given static IP. We have not enabled the DSCP services because this server they don't know what services for. So that's so.
Okay.
Let's check it out. I'm going to keep static. I'm going on server. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to services. Can you see services tab here before the
Yes.
Yes, sir.
desktop tab? Click here. So services, this many services. This server says that I can give you service of HTTP, DSCP, DSCP 6, TFTP, DNS, syslog, blah blah. Which services you want? I don't know. You are looking for which? I will say which service? DSCP. Okay, today we are doing the DSCP. We'll do lab for each and every service. Don't worry. Today we are going to do DSCP. You have to click DSCP. Then you have to see there is a switch on, switch off. The switch off. That's why it's not coming. You have to switch on this service. Now after switch on, you have to define your pool from where he will give assign this laptop and personal computer. Has to define the IP address. So from what range he has to define? You have to define. So you have to fill up this form for the services. So this is the pool name. So you can enable so many DHCP servers, so many services DHCP. This is by default first pool they given you. So I will teach you how you can add second pool, third pool, fourth pool. So this is only one LAN, so I'm going to check default one. So what is the default gateway? We know that 192.168.1.1. DNS, I'm not looking for right now any DS. From what IP you want to start? I want to start from 100. Means if I'm going to request the IP address, so 192.168.1.100, from 100 he has to give the IP. So means 100, 101, 102, 103, right? That is my expectation. Subnet marks, of course, slash 24, 5.2, 5.2. Maximum number of user, I want only 10 or 20 or 30 or 100. Anything but not more than 255 because I don't have IP mode. You understand this? I can keep 10. We
Yes,
have
sir.
10, 100. No, I did not define at the point of this time. I'm not going to define the server and WLC addresses. Okay, we will see in upcoming classes all these attribute behavior like DNS server, TFTP server. We will going to spend the time. We'll do the lab. Okay. Now we concentrate on only the DHCP default pool. Okay. So the basic parameter what we have given, we have given the gateway, we have given the starting IP address from where it's going to assign to my laptop or plus the IP starting from 100 and the maximum users is 100. Okay, so I'm going to save this. As soon as you save, so this is going to be pop up and you can little bit extend and you can say okay, okay, and you can switch off, switch on, everything is okay, right? Now let's do that. My DSCP configuration there, I switch on. Now again I will click DSCP, walking on. Wow, what's the pop-up? DSCP request successful.
Sir.
And what IP you have got?
192.168.1.100.
100. What are you expecting? Same, right?
Same. Yes, sir.
What IP supposed to hear?
101.
101. Excellent. I'm going to go for desktop. I just click DSCP. It's supposed to go to 101. I just want to, yeah, see how easy my work is. I just click DSCP and everything, my gateway and all the parameter is defining. If I configure TFTP, DNS, WLC, everything going. So how easy is DSCP? They define, they maintain, they will maintain the leash also. The IP is 103. What is the sign here? 102. What is the sign here?
101.
101 here, 100. Then here they will assign this IP address, unique IP address on each and every. I should not do an awesome.
Yes, sir.
So this is the very basic lab. We're going detailed study we're going to do for later on in upcoming classes. We have different. But today we're going to concentrate what's the role of broadcast IP. The question was, we'll go back and we will see the question was I asked you. So we're going to see the network ID role throughout the CCNA. We'll see the valid host because these 6 hosts are valid host. But what is the role of broadcast type? Role of broadcast type means it will show you how many member is active to my family, to my network family, how many active. So by looking on here, you can see there is a 6 member is active, right? How many member is active in the network?
6 memory.
Let's see, true or not. Let's see that. How many member is active? So what do you have to do? What is the broadcast IP of that? Which subnet I took? Which subnet I took? Which network I took? 190.168
168. Dot.
1.1./24. This is right network I took. So what will be the broadcast IP? So 19 last IP. What will be the last IP? The first IP will be what? 192.168.1.0 will be what? First IP? Work ID? Agree, not agree? Yes, no, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
What will be the first IP? That will be gateway I took. Remaining all IP will be valid host
Valid
IP.
IP.
Are you agree? What will be the last IP? 255.
Fine.
So this first IP dot zero will be reserved for network. Last IP will be reserved for whom?
Broadcast.
Broadcast. Okay. So what will be the IP of the broadcast IP? 190.168.1.
Yes, sir.
Let's ping. I don't know what are the family is. What is the this IP family? How many IP available? So what I'm going to do from the server side, I'm going to ping my broadcast IP. You can ping from anywhere. Just I'm doing the lab purpose. I'm pinging. I'm going to ping my broadcast IP. I'm not going to ping anyone. I'm going to ping to whom?
Broadcast
Broadcast
type.
IP. And who going to answer? Every member going to answer. Yes, sir, I'm present. Yes, I'm present. Yes, I'm present. So in this family, how many IP do we have?
6.
You know that, right? But
Yeah.
Yes.
actually, how many IP do we have in this family? Let's come. From 1 to 254, right?
Yes.
You don't know actually. If I'm going to bring you in any office and I will tell me how many IP right now active and what are those IP. How do you know? Because of in this network there is 254 IP. So what you will do? You will going to ping to what? Your
Broadcast.
broadcast IP, and that going to give you answer how many IP out of 254 IP is assigned and active. Assigned and active.
Active.
So the IP is 254. This is my broadcast. Sorry, 255 my broadcast and enter. Wow, what happened?
6 IPI reply.
Yes, not sick. Okay. I'm going to break this. Stop this. Control C. Let's see.
Okay.
The reply coming.
One,
Router
3, 4.
1 IP. Reply coming 103 to 105, 100, 101, 102, 104. Right? You going to tell your manager, I know only the how many pieces. One, two,
Six.
this one out. 4 PC, one router. You cannot say that. Also, route which one is router, which one. But you can say there is a how many?
Six.
Six,
PC.
six or seven. Seven active IP are available, including my IP. Total save. 6 PC, one. You will get the listed IP even. You see that? That's the
Okay.
power of broadcast. So in the network, 254 IP is there, but who all are active working, you will get. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This. So if you have any question, please practice
So,
this.
can you close any one PC?
Oh, excellent. Let's do that, lab. What I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this. To whom I remove, I don't know later.
104.
Oh, you saw that, but suppose I removed one.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
going to
No. Three,
that?
three. Yeah. Three is not
Yeah,
replying.
see, you now you're changing word. Okay, so you can see that only active one going. I don't know. I just switch off this laptop. Don't see the IP, and I don't know which PC is switched off. And the employee left for the day. I want to see how much active. And
Two,
let's see.
three,
Two and three.
two and three.
102 is. So you understand, guys, how
Yes.
powerful
Yes.
is broadcast IP. So the use of broadcast IP is going to tell you how many active IP in that network. That network, maybe there is 254 IP, but the active IP, how do you know is available in that network? Okay, interesting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, student, go practice by network. So we're going to meet you in next class with the continuity of the applied CC. It's called applied CC. Only the lab by doing this stuff you. Bye bye. See you in next.